Zero harm means zero opportunities for injuries. However, zero harm also means zero environmental damage. Our communities have the right to expect that every employee will care for the environment. One way that you can do your part to protect the environment is by preventing impacts to stormwater. In many cases, this is also the law. Stormwater runoff occurs when precipitation from rain or snowmelt flows over the ground. Impervious surfaces like streets, parking lots, driveways, and sidewalks prevent stormwater from naturally soaking into the ground. Stormwater runoff can pick up debris, chemicals, dirt, and other pollutants and flow into a stormwater system, which may ultimately drain to a lake, river, wetland, or ocean. Anything entering a stormwater system may be discharged untreated into the water bodies we use for swimming, fishing, and drinking water. Today, stormwater runoff remains the nation's largest source of water quality problems. Some of the most common stormwater pollutants are sediment, nutrients, and heavy metals. Sediment can cloud the water, making it difficult for aquatic plants to grow. Excess nutrients can cause algae blooms. When algae die, the decomposition process removes oxygen from the water, which means there's less available for fish and other aquatic organisms. Heavy metals can directly affect vegetation and wildlife as well as human health. Regardless of how stormwater pollution occurs, the negative effects can be debilitating, affecting the cycle of life and everything that depends on it. A facility can implement a combination of non-structural, behavioral, and structural, physical, best management practices. The most effective way to prevent stormwater pollution is to minimize the potential for impacts. This may also minimize permitting requirements. Perform industrial activities inside as much as possible. Minimize outdoor storage areas when feasible. If they are necessary, attempt to cover these areas with a roof. Allow for as much of the property to be landscaped or permeable as possible. This will allow rain or snowmelt to soak through, decreasing stormwater runoff. Dirt, oil, and debris can collect in parking lots and paved areas, which can be washed into the stormwater system and eventually into local water bodies. Sweep up litter and debris from paved areas such as sidewalks and parking lots, especially around storm drains. If debris or sediment control is difficult, install BMPs such as a silt sack or geofabric. Dumpsters should be covered to avoid debris from exiting the dumpster. Ensure that outdoor dumpsters, fuel storage areas, mechanical equipment, and chemical storage areas are free of leaks. Never dump chemicals or oils into a stormwater drain. The effect would be similar to dumping directly into a water body. Liquid stored in large quantities, whether hazardous or not, could leak from storage containers and eventually impact the stormwater system. Inspect containers frequently to ensure they are intact. Use secondary containment when storing liquids. Also, store appropriately sized spill cleanup kits on site, particularly in areas where large quantities of liquids are stored. Employees should be trained on spill response procedures. Note that these practices are evaluated at most Brambles managed facilities during annual standardized global HSE audits called GAP2. Stormwater permits are issued by the state or federal governments to address legal requirements as well as control the discharge of pollutants to stormwater systems in an effort to protect surface water and groundwater quality. The National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, also known as NPDES, is a federal program that regulates stormwater runoff associated with industrial or construction activities and those connected to municipal separate stormwater system, also known as MS4s. In many cases, the federal government has delegated regulatory responsibilities to state governments. Federal or state requirements likely require your facility to obtain either a stormwater permit or no exposure exclusion, each with its own set of requirements. If you're not certain of your facility's compliance with these requirements, contact your environmental manager or equivalent for more information. If a permit is required, a Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, or SWIP, should be implemented. This is to ensure compliance with the stormwater permit, as well as to reduce or eliminate sources of pollution from coming into contact with stormwater. The SWIP must be up to date at all times. Other compliance activities may require regular inspection and maintenance of best management practices, as well as monitoring and reporting. It is important to note that both no exposure exclusions and permits expire. It is the facility's responsibility to renew prior to the expiration date. Stormwater runoff is our nation's largest source of water quality problems. By doing your part to prevent impacts, you are helping to protect one of the nation's most important resources. Thank you for doing the right thing.